Pet Life Radio.
This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
Hello, you're listening to Animal Party on Pet Life Radio with me, your host, Deb Wolfe. And today I've brought you my annual what to buy, what not to buy. But I'm not a big shopper. I'm more of a saver. I'm very frugal. And because I have so many pets, I don't like anything that gets destroyed easily. So usually before I buy anything, I talk to my expert on what to buy and what not to buy, because she tests absolutely everything good and not so good and is very honest with her reviews. And that's the pack leader, Stacy Mantle, over at Pets Weekly magazine. Welcome back to the show, Stacy.
Thank you for having me, Deb. It's great to be back.
So you got stuck in shopping traffic? Is that what I'm hearing? The ultimate shopper got stuck in shopping traffic?
It was actually errands and a bunch of other things, but traffic has been brutal down here. So I am glad to be almost back to where I can focus on this instead of driving.
Well, it kind of hits home, right? Because nowadays you don't have to get in your car and go out and buy stuff. And you don't have to try it yourself. You can go to Pets Weekly or listen to this show and we'll have tried the stuff for you. So then you can order online, right? No traffic.
Yes. Everything I'm telling you about today, you can order online, so you're just covered.
Nice. Okay. And some places I know still have Cyber Monday deals, even though Cyber Monday was, yesterday. They're still doing it, and free shipping sometimes. There's a lot of things going on right now. The internet is very tempting. While I was waiting for this show, I was very, very tempted, but I didn't do it because, as I say, I'm very frugal. So that's why I like to know what's good and what's not good. Recently, I bought dog beds for the kennel, and it was really a gamble. Do I spend more for this company or less for that? And I was checking reviews, and I was looking at the descriptions, and it's only after you read like 4 or 5 that you realize, they have covers you can clean and you can remove, and they have covers you can order and they don't, all this kind of stuff. And it was exhausting just to order 4 dog beds. I'm so glad I have you instead.
I don't know if you
what? I looked at Caranda, and I looked at, let's see, what did I end up with? Pets Fit. Oh,
those are all great brands. They really are. You really can't go wrong with any of those. If you're looking for the best bang for your buck, there's a brand called Pooch Planet, and I can't remember the rest of the name. But anyway, great selection of beds, and it's really nice if you have giant dogs, which we all have, right? It's hard to find a bed that they all fit and that will hold up. These are super affordable beds. They fit really easily into any house. Or outside. The ones I have are indoors because my pets are spoiled, that. But, they've lasted probably 6 years, and I haven't even needed to replace them, but they're $50 for the size that we need, which is the extra large, the 75, 80-pound dog. Wonderful brand.
Well, it's important that you get, that you look through all these descriptions and reviews, or you go to Pets Weekly, because there really is a difference in quality. I was so tempted to buy the knockoff, which was like half price. And then I read someone saying, their dog jumped on it once and it got scratched. And I'm thinking, at my commercial dog kennel with 50 dogs over Christmas, that won't last a day, right? Not everybody has their nails all done. Not everybody isn't gonna, I've seen dogs stand on the bed and pretend it's dirt and dig. Oh, that's not going to work on that bed, right? So you need to know what you're getting.
Exactly. And, especially when it comes to like toys and things like that, because we can spend on a plush toy and it's gone. So knowing which toys are going to hold up at least for a few hours or a few days, knowing what kind of chews are best for your pets that aren't going to injure them, or knowing where they're sourced from, those are all really important things too. So we try to focus on those. And this year we're really focusing on what's the best deal for you and your pets, where you can get the best quality at the least amount of the price.
Well, yeah, that's when you say that, okay, so you go to the dollar store and you buy some cheap toy for your pet. Maybe it's even a stuffed animal made for kids, and you give it to your pet and you think, I've saved some money. There's I only spent $2. And then your pet eats it and it gets stuck in their intestines. And then you spend $1,100 to get it out of there and 3 weeks of a home collar and taking time off work. And you're like, well, maybe I didn't save so much money. Maybe I should have gone with the actual indestructible toy that's marketed for my kind of dog, and a lot of these toys, they say don't leave unattended. Well, there's a reason, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And that's what I'm talking about. You can spend so much more money by doing that. So you just got to be really careful on what you're spending your money on and how you're doing this. It's, there are some great products out there. You just need to know where to look for them.
I have a squeaky, just the plastic thing that goes squeak, 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 squeak in my pocket. And people, when I meet a new dog and he's like a little bit nervous or whatever, I go squeak, 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 and he thinks, wow, she has a squeaky in her pocket. And it warms him up real quick. But I have so many of those because people tend to send them to camp with their dog, not realizing they're going to rip them apart and possibly swallow that thing. So you really got to be careful with the squeakies. We're going to take a break and come back in a minute and talk more about what to buy and what not to buy from Stacy Mantle, Pets Weekly Magazine. Stay tuned.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynovite for help.
Order a 90-day supply of Dynovite.
Dynovite for life.
Pick up 2 tubes of Doggo Suds.
Get the 3rd tube free.
Peppermint, tea tree, lavender, Doggo Sud shampoo.
Made with all-natural coconut, jojoba, aloe. Great for healthy skin and soft, shiny coats.
But no itchy, harsh chemicals.
Lather up, rinse away.
Try Doggo Suds. Buy 2, get 1 free.
At Dynovite.com.
DINOVITE.com.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Hello! We're back on Animal Party Pet Life Radio, and I'm here with my dear friend Stacy Mantle from Pets Weekly Magazine. Stacy, how do they find your magazine?
Oh, just go to petsweekly.com and you will find me right there. Petsweekly.com.
All right. And once they get there, what are they going to see?
Well, they'll see. Hopefully, they'll have my website will be up and functioning properly. But you're going to see a lot of behavior articles about product reviews, different unique toys and items that are coming out. Hopefully, the latest on everything that we like the best for this year. That's
and I was explaining to everyone how I had to look for these dog beds, and I needed 4 dog beds really quickly. And I went on and I found, the 2-day free delivery and all this stuff. And I got, okay, I'm looking. I see 30 brands. I see 40 different sizes. I see descriptions that don't really correlate. I have to go through, and it took well over 2 hours to figure out what I was going to order. In the end, I ordered Pet Sure and Vihu dog beds, and they were both large, but not the same size, you see? And so, again, there's a trick. And then when I got them here to my kennel, I'm glad I only ordered 4, because now I have to order different sizes, because even though I measured everything and I looked at all the descriptions, I did not account for the extra inches the legs would need. And so they don't actually fit the way I had intended. They fit in different areas, but I wish I'd gone to Pets Weekly. Now that I'm thinking about it, I should have just gone to you, because it would at least have eliminated the products that won't stand up, the products I shouldn't even consider, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, so I got Pet Sure and I got Vihu, and they're both really good, and I'm happy with them. And why am I looking at raised dog beds? Because it's so nice for the dogs to get up off the cold floor. And if they want, right, they can always choose to go on the cold floor if it's a hot day. But if they're sore or they just want a soft place to be, that's the trick, a raised dog bed. So I love these things.
Yeah, they are really great. They're great for summer, too, because it allows the air to circulate. It's always good just to get them off the ground. Better for their joints.
And these things are washable. They're easy to clean. They're easy to move. They're really portable. They're almost like lawn chairs for dogs. They're low to the ground, and they're just like dog bed shape, but they're like lawn chairs. They're awesome. So I'm really happy with them. And I want to talk to you about other products. What have you found lately that you think people really ought to know about? Maybe they don't know.
Well, there hasn't been a lot of big changes in the industry lately, unless you're talking about going into weirder products. There's some always weird things coming out. And while I say that weird, I qualify that because what's weird to me is not weird to other people. what we can talk about, let's talk about some of the different things that you're going to see. There's a CBD bath bomb. Have you heard of that for dogs?
Oh my gosh, no, that's like, oh dear. Okay.
It's
So the
insane.
idea is that they get the pain relief from the
Exactly.
pain relieving ingredient of marijuana by having a bath in it? Really?
Yep, it's infused into the bath bomb, and you can actually let them soak. And there are some huge benefits to this. But I don't know about you, my dogs are not huge fans of baths. I mean, they'll tolerate it, but they're not in love with the idea. So so the CBD bath bomb is something that's new out. And anyway, we did test one, and I ended up using it much longer than my dogs did. So
Okay, so don't go through customs. Don't go over a border with your dog freshly bathed in CBD bath water. I'm guessing. Oh my goodness. It's just so strange to me. I don't know. I do have one dog, Chocolate Lab, and if you take her down to the kennel because you're visiting the dogs at the kennel and she's loose with you and you don't like totally pay attention, if you're not right on her, she will just walk herself into the bath and stand there and wait. Like, excuse me, time for my water rub, because she just loves water, loves being touched. She's up every day. She would like to have a bath. She walks right into the tub. My turn.
That's so funny.
The rest of the dogs, no, it's not. It's more like trying to get, when Bambi first stands up and the legs go every which way, that's like dog on strike, not going in this tub. The rest of the dogs are more like that. Not all of them, but yeah, only Pudding just walks right in like, oh, spa time? Sure, I'll have a bath. Nice one.
Yeah, ours are not big fans. So that's one of the unusual ones. One of my favorites this year is and these guys have been around a long time, but they have, in my opinion, some of the best leashes on the market. Mendota Pet. Have you ever heard of Mendota?
No, how do you spell that?
Mendota. And they're one of the leading manufacturers of leashes and collars in the world. Very popular here in the U.S. And they're one of my favorites. They have this, it's a braided leash that is made from, it's a cotton type rope, and it's super ultra strong. All of them are handmade in the U.S., in Minnesota, actually. They're machine washable. They're super easy to keep up. I guess the rope itself is it's a cotton polypropylene rope type, but it's waterproof. It's resistant to all this stuff, so you don't have to worry about bugs and things in there, or mold, I guess. And you can just throw it in your washing machine. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. So anyway, I like their leashes. I like their colors. They have a bunch of different sizes, and they do have leather colors too. And I believe they have I'll have to look into that. I don't want to say that they have the pleather. Is that what they're calling it? But they do have leather, and they have the cotton and the polypropylene.
Okay. Okay, so I would add something to that. Before you throw a collar or a leash into your washing machine and find out the hard way, like I do when I have new staff at the Camp Good Dog Kennel, that washing machines don't like leashes and neither do dryers. You got to put it in a bag and really knot it and do a couple bags maybe, because they get out somehow. But I once had a sponsor years ago called Launder Dog. I think they were called Launder Bag, Doggy Bag. I'll look them up. Anyway, they make this bag. I'll look it up today. They make this bag with a zipper, and you put your leash and your collar in it, and you throw that in the wash, and it just awesome product. I use it all the time. They're great. So you know what? I'm going to look that up, and if I don't find it by the time I'm done on the air today, I will put it in the write-up, because it was a really affordable product, and I've had it like 10 years. It's been washed so much with leashes and collars, and it just solves that whole problem. Okay, so let's see. What about cats?
Oh gosh, always got new things for cats, which is nice. That's what they are. This year we're kind of getting into the costumes, which my cats are not big fans of normally, but they have different costumes you can do for just a quick picture. So of course we always like to get a couple of those going. The funniest thing for cats right now is the wine for cats. Have you seen those?
No.
They have like a cat Bernet. They have, it's organic catnip, peppermint, red beets. It's got sea salt. There's just all kinds of different. It's by Apollo Peak is the name of the company that manufactures it. And they have a cat Bernet, and I forget the other how they played it off. Oh gosh, I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, fun little thing for that. There's just so many different things going on. Let's see. Oh, valerian root is a big one for cats. We've been getting more into the valerian root for animals that don't respond to catnip. It's a great alternative because they just don't.
Okay, that sounds strange to me because valerian, I remember when I had babies, when my kids were young, they're teenagers now. If they were listening to the show, they'd be wincing. But anyway, when they were babies, I had this book of home remedies, and both catnip and valerian were remedies in there, which I did not use on my children. But I remember remembering that and thinking that's strange because valerian's a sedative. And they were recommending valerian tea for infants who didn't sleep. And I thought, well, I'm not drugging the kid just because he's a little bit more energetic than me at midnight.
Right.
I had one child that, whoa, my goodness, he just never slept through the night till he was 3. And my other baby slept through the night from the first day and every day. So it was really quite astounding. But it wasn't anything I was doing. It was just their nature, But I didn't choose to use these things, but catnip tea is often used for babies, and so is valerian. So I see the connection. They're mild sedatives for babies, but why are we giving this to cats? Is it stressed out cats?
You know how different cats are anyway. Cats have different reactions to catnip and valerian. So for us, it's sedatives. For them, it kind of brings them up. It kind of levels their personality a little bit more. I find catnip super effective, and same with valerian root. Valerian root is some nasty smelling stuff, though, so just be prepared when you bring it in. If you have
bonus.
It smells like old socks. It's not good.
You know that treat that was like, it looked like jerky, but it was actually, if you look closely, you could tell that it was originally part of the male cow, the bull, and you could tell which part it was, the private part, and it was dry. Do you remember that? If the dog bit into it but didn't eat it all, there was this incredible odor that would emanate. Do you remember that? I was thinking, why do they sell that? Stop it. And that's what I'm thinking.
Super popular. Yeah, that's the bullies. They're just not fun if they don't eat them all the way. Yeah.
Oh, disgusting for the human sense of smell. They really like different things than we do. But I hear this stuff about cats, and so often I get called in to train a dog or a puppy, and there's some cat they've given up on in the same home. And just by asking a few questions and looking around a bit, I can usually give a couple of tips to them that solves the problem completely. People think cats are cranky or aloof or mean or pissed off or unpredictable. But if you just kind of make a list of when the cat's misbehaving or where it's make a list, just a little summary, you're going to see a pattern. You're going to see that the cat just, maybe doesn't like the litter box by the dryer or the furnace, or they're smart. They're sensible.
Communicate the best way that they can. And usually, sadly, that results in spraying or meowing constantly or being challenging. And that's why I'm so grateful for the cat market these days, is because people are really making an effort to understand behavior in cats. So they're creating these products that are just phenomenal for helping you with your cat and helping you understand your cat. There may be a reason that your cat refuses to go into a certain room. It could be that the dog's bullying them, and you don't know about it, or another cat. But if you can create different alternatives for them, amazing things can start happening. You'll see huge behavior improvements. And we have one cat we call Crazy, and I still have not quite figured this cat out, and it's been 3 years. And we're still challenged on a daily basis with this cat because we just fix one thing, something else happens. So we're still working with him. But he's coming around.
We're gonna go to a commercial break, but before we do, I'm just gonna give one tip to everybody out there who thinks they have a cat who likes to be pet and then all of a sudden hates it. Psycho kitty, they call the cat, right? They say it's possessed. They say it's a Gemini. It has 2 personalities. It's schizo kitty. Okay, everybody who has that cat, next time you pet it with the lightest touch you can. Just your fingertips. Barely touch it. Let the cat press into you and show you how hard it wants it. And don't do any harder than that. And before the cat gets pissed off, stop and walk away. And now every time you pet her or him, try that. and your cat will change completely. You'll have a cat purring in your lap and not biting you and not scratching you. You're just petting your cat too hard. They're 10 to 12-pound animals most of the time, and they don't like to be scratched and ruffled and rumpled and grabbed at. So, finger touch, let them show you. It's going to take a little while. That's why you're going to stop before she's had enough, because she won't trust you yet to be light enough. But that's the case with most cats. So, okay, stay tuned. We'll be back with more pet advice from me and more shopping tips from the pack leader over at Pets Weekly, Stacy Mantle. Stay tuned to Animal Party Pet Life Radio. Back in a bit.
It's designerpetsweaters.com. Hand-knitted designer sweaters for your precious pup or cool cat. Beautiful couture patterns for your pets, including custom-knitted formal wear, casual wear, yachting, and even sports-themed. Many designer pet sweaters include feathered tammy hats, top hats, and a lot of sparkle. Each sweater includes leg loops, front paw sleeves, and leash opening. Visit designerpetsweaters.com to order your four-legged fashions today. Your pets will stay warm for the winter and be runway ready. Large or small, we fit them all. designerpetsweaters.com.
Let's talk pets
Let's talk pets
on Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Hello! We're back on Animal Party, Pet Life Radio. We're doing a show about what to buy and hopefully what not to buy for Christmas, for Hanukkah, for whatever you've got coming up for pet owners. And I do want to tell you, you probably saw me to just throw in there a little bit of cat advice. I've got a lot of dog and cat advice, little clips on YouTube. So go check out my new channel, Deb Wolfe Pet Expert on YouTube, and you'll see some stuff there. All right. So, and if you want to see the dogs and the puppies at Camp Good Dog, especially over the holidays, because we'll be dressing them up, they'll be playing on the 5-acre farm here and boarding while their owners go on holidays. You can always check us out at Camp Good Dog on Facebook. And I do have puppies still, doodles. So you could see some golden doodles and some labradoodles, extra eye candy, dressed up as little elves and Santas and reindeers and all that sort of stuff. If you are doing costumes with pets, do it for a short time, give a big reward, keep the costume comfortable and simple. And that's basically the best way to do it. All right, Stacy, what have you got? What should they get for the holidays?
Well, let's talk chews and treats, because there's some really cool stuff coming out right now. They're not anything remarkable, but there's a lot of the dehydrated treats, which I'm a big fan of. They've got sweet potatoes coming out. They've got ocean chews coming out, which is just a collection of fish. Lung, these are all things that have been out a while, but they're coming out with better quality and just a better brand, a better way of approaching it, I think.
Sweet potato is an interesting ingredient. First of all, it's one of the main ingredients in most of the high-end, Science Diet, Royal Canin, that kind of thing, most of the high-end hypoallergenic foods. So that's something that, sweet potato is up there. Yams, for years, a relative of the sweet potato, has been something I've recommended people cook, bake, whatever, for their dogs whenever their dogs are exposed to smoke or toxins or they need help getting over something. Most dogs love yams, love sweet potatoes. So that right there tells me it's a good thing. Plus, you always want to, there's this worry, right, with the packaged things and meats and weird things that they might not be as domestic as we think, that they might be imported. And there were so many scares with jerky products over the years. So the idea that it's made here and that it's yam or sweet potato is a great thing.
Absolutely, yeah. And, there's other things coming out. Like, personally, my dogs love sweet potatoes, yams, but they also have pumpkin. They have, which is another, you know how well pumpkin goes. They have.
Now, they're superfood for dogs. A teaspoon or two. If your dog is constipated or even has diarrhea, something's up with the stomach, just a little bit, just like a teaspoon of canned pumpkin or cooked pumpkin will help him. It's a medicine, basically.
Absolutely. And, I feel like Dwight on The Office when I say this one, but red beets are really popular now. They're starting to come in as supplements and, in with their food supply now, things like that. It's filled with antioxidants, phytonutrients, it's got fiber. It's good for everything, These are all
and
organic.
Sweet. Red beets and yams, they have sweetness. Some dogs really have a sweet tooth. Not all, but some really do. Those are the ones who like apples and bananas. They like sweet.
Absolutely, yeah. And then we've got our basic, our meat and fish and our tripe and that kind of thing. So, those are always great. My dogs love the cod skins. I don't know if you've ever had or seen the cod.
Yeah.
Those are really popular with my pets. The salmon, the dried salmon. So now they're going above and beyond and keeping the pet food industry healthy, and they're working really hard towards it. I'll say that. More so than I would say for the humans. I trust my dog's food more than I trust my human food. So, so I think it just focused on this whole thing. It's a good thing.
Okay, so what about active gifts? Because, years ago when they came up with that thing, the hand that throws the ball, right? That thing, it was a game changer because I had been recommending to people to go to a used sports store and find an old squash racket and go to the park and hit the ball with the And now I could tell people, you know what? You don't need that. Just get one of these chuckers and chuck the ball. It was a game changer. Do we have anything active out now?
We have a lot of active things. Yeah. One of the things I'm seeing a movement towards is just the mental activity too, because, it's so important to keep them busy physically and mentally. Physically, we haven't seen a huge bunch of changes. The chuck is really popular still. Some different frisbees, glow in the dark frisbees, that kind of thing. So we have that continuing to evolve. The one that I like is the mental activity where you're dealing with the pet puzzles, the food puzzles, the toy puzzles.
Okay, so are there any brands you recommend of these things? You also, the dehydrated products, are there any brands you're thinking are really good?
The one I rely the most on is the Honest Kitchen for the dehydrated foods. The Honest Kitchen, Rocco, and I got to think of the name, Rocco and Riki, I want to say. What is the name? Rocco and something. Anyway, ROCCO, and they're great. The Honest Kitchen is my other one. As far as the puzzles go, Nina Otteson is a behaviorist. She works with Outward Hound. Really great selection of puzzles. If you're looking for the plush puzzles, one of the ones that I like are I don't know if you've heard of the Frisco brand. I believe Frisco. Mm-hmm. And that's by Chewy.com. PetSmart purchased Chewy. There's a whole bunch of stuff happening there. But Frisco is their personal brand, and they do a really good job with a lot of these puzzle toys. Trixie is a great brand of interactive puzzles. So anything like that where you're dealing with the plush or the actual puzzle toys where they can actually figure something out will help you keep your dog's behavior under control too, because they need to be stimulated not only physically but mentally as well.
Well, and sometimes I see things on TV commercials that I love. Like recently, there's this car commercial, and they compare the car to a goat. And then in the end, they say, and the goat tapped out when the car hauled a canoe. And it's just so funny, But sometimes they have commercials on TV that just, because, you'd be really hard-pressed to find a vehicle that could operate like a goat on a mountain, because I have goats and I can't believe what they get up to. But so it's a very, very clever commercial. But then sometimes you see on TV these things that just infuriate and make no sense. And it's just so frustrating. And one of them is, where they hand the dog some kind of dental chew because that's supposed to keep the dog busy all day and entertained. And well, if you have a fat dog, an obese dog, a dog with bad teeth, an older dog, then this is not going to work. Even if you have a young hyper dog, if you have a Doberman, he's going to be done with that in 3 minutes. Really? That's going to keep him busy all day while you go to work? Come on now. Get that dog off the couch. Exactly. Give him something to do. And if a dog's destructive and needs mental activity, then they need more than that. And I have all these great tips for that. Fetch and find on my Deb Wolfe Pet Expert YouTube. If your dog can fetch, or if your dog likes food, which is like every dog out there, one of the two, right? You either like the ball or you like the food or you like both. That's all of them, then he can do find and fetch. And he can do find. And he can find the car. And he can find the kids. And he can find the food. And he can find all kinds of things, which really, really makes him think. In the house, in the apartment, outside, wherever. So fetch doesn't have to just be throw and run. As your dog gets older, throw and run is limited. And It becomes more like ring toss. You're tossing the ball at the old dog, hoping he might catch it if he sees it in time. Otherwise, it hits his head. Not a good game. That same dog would love to walk around the house looking for the ball, right? So much better game. So, and all these toys you're talking about really challenge the dog and give him something to do. I think it's great. So, Stacy, have you got any wishes for Christmas, for the holidays?
Well, of course, I want to get all these animals into homes, and that's our standard. But if I were to just wish for something for myself or my dogs, but for my own benefit, it would be the new Blueberry Pet Christmas sweaters because they are adorable. I think you're gonna like it.
What are they? Tell me.
They're like ugly Christmas sweaters, but for dogs. But they're not ugly. They're so cute, and they're perfect for pets. And they make them for the big dogs. So I do like that they fit properly and they keep my pup warm.
Okay, what brand is this?
This is called Blueberry Pet, and they are amazing as far as high quality clothes. We've had a sweater that's lasted Brock for probably 5 years, and he wrestles in roughhouses and wreaks havoc.
I can just imagine at the dog park, they're like the other dogs looking at him like, oh man, I feel sorry for you.
So they don't feel too bad for him. He can pull off some pretty silly sweaters and still look cool.
Oh, right on. Okay, well, everyone, I hope you have a wonderful holiday, and I hope we've helped you find the good brands and the good products. If you need more information, you probably do. Before you buy something and make a mistake, before you head out in traffic and get stuck in traffic and buy something at a store that maybe you paid double what you should for, go at Pets Weekly. Check it out. Look at what you're looking for, and it'll help you get the right thing for the right pet on your list this holiday. Absolutely. So, Stacy, thank you very much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me, and I apologize for being stuck in traffic for half of it, and thank you for being patient.
Oh, no problem. No. I'm at home at Camp Good Dog. I can see the dogs running in the rain with the dog handler, and I'm nice and warm and dry. Yesterday, it was me running in the rain. So, I'm pretty happy to be inside, warm and dry, thinking about the holidays and all these fun things. I will be dressing my customers up. They will be wearing antlers and halos.
I hear that.
And beards and elf little costumes and all kinds of stuff. And, I strongly suggest everybody go for it because why not, right? I think pets really enjoy being the center of attention. And if you laugh with them and make it happy and fun and short, you're going to get some great photos and they're going to love the attention, especially if kids are involved. Okay, so until next time, thank you so much, Stacy. I guess we'll have you back in the spring and we'll talk more.
Yeah, we'll have to do this again. Thanks so much.
Okay, thank you. All right, everybody. From Stacy Mantle at Pets Weekly Magazine and from me, Deb Wolfe, and Animal Party Pet Life Radio, have a great holiday and be good to your animals.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.